to the Utkal Divas event. Our next program, I would like to welcome an esteemed panel who will be discussing different opportunities and different drawbacks and different, what we can do regarding the real estate market. And I know there are multiple people who would like to gain that knowledge. There are multiple people who would like to get benefit from that knowledge. So, without any further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Jyoti Maharana. Mr. Jyoti Maharana. Please give a big round of applause. Mrs. Smita Mohanty, could you please come on the stage, please? Please take a seat. Mrs. Smita Mohanty, Mr. Indrajit Babe, could you please come on the stage? And Mr. Sandeep Rath. Before we begin this panel discussion, I would like to request the audience if we could have a minute of calm so that we can discuss all the questions. So there are 8 questions for this panel discussions, and the questions that we'll ask to this panelist are randomly chosen from a draw. Before taking more time, I would like to give the mic to our esteemed panelists, and I would request them to speak a few words about them, to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Asutosh. Good evening, mo Odia bhayo bhoni mane. Odia koiba na? As a self-employed, 12 वर्ष हेलाणी अच्छी इंडस्ट्री रियल एस्टेट मॉर्गेज फर्स्ट फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग करथली ऑलमोस्ट मॉर्गेज रे $250 million फंडिंग करछि आ रियल एस्टेट रे प्राय $150 million ट्रांजैक्शन करछि किछि क्वेश्चन है मो बाहर अछि मते पचार परिए मो गाइड कर दे पारि थैंक यू
Mr. Indrajit Bey, just to make this, so the question answer will be all in English. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Indrajit Vaid. I'm associated with this Odia community for the last 12 years and have been working in the real estate industry for the last 9 years. I have a specialization in working with the resale homes, and recently, about 2 years back, started working with the pre-constructions also. Thank you very much.
Smita Mohanty. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. This is Smita, and I'm working for Century 21 People's Choice. That's the largest brokerage for Century 21 in Canada, and globally we are 9th. And I've been working for about 5 years, and I've been working for specialization. If you talk about, I'm doing more in new constructions for investments in high rises. Also, I do resale for houses and commercial properties too. So I've been working in Century 21 as a platinum agent. And I have platinum access in a lot of builders in GTA. Sandeep and me are in one company. So anytime you need to ask any questions, feel free. I'm there outside sitting and enjoying the program with all of you. So let's have the questions on one-on-one if you want. Okay?
Mr. Sandeep Rath.
Hi, how are you, friends? I'm into sales since almost more than 35 years now. I started my job with Reliance Telecom way back in 1992, and in fact, after that I joined Nike as a brand head in Dubai for 15 years, and now I have been in real estate business almost more than 10 years from now. And as Smita told, we both work with one of the largest Century 21 as people choice in Canada. And I'm specialized in basically people's management. I believe in people's person and customer service, and I totally believe on customer satisfaction. And if you have any questions or doubt, I'm here along with you, so you can discuss with me on one-on-one basis. Thank you, friends.
Thank you all from taking time from your very busy schedule to come here and share your knowledge and experience. So I will start with the first question to Mr. Jyoti Maharana. What are the benefits of the first-time home buyer, and especially the added benefits of the new budgetary incentives, which was announced a couple of I think a month or 2 months back?
It's a very good question. So recently, the Government of Canada has come up with a plan to help the first-time home buyer, to help them. There are two parts of this program. So this is the Government of Canada has come up with 1.5 billion of revenue with the budget. So this is for the next 3 years. And here, this is like a partnership between CMHC, which is Canada Mortgage Housing Corporation. This is a crown corporation of Government of Canada. So they can, when you put 5%, they can add either 5% or 10%, which you don't have to pay right now, because you don't have to pay any payment or any mortgage. So the 5% is for the resale home and the 10% is for the brand new construction. And this one is valid for the family income for those people who are up to 120,000. If your family income is more than 120,000, you are not qualified for this plan. And the maximum mortgage amount you can qualify for is 480,000. That is the 4 times of that income. And the maximum purchase price is 505,000. This is a good initiative for this, for helping both as a new first-time home buyer to the builder, and this is targeted basically for the millennial, so that they can get into the housing market, so that those people who are on the rental apartment, they can move on to the house, and then the new people which are coming to the country, they can move on to the rental market. And another change they made, the first-time home buyer plan, you have a RSP, which was earlier 25,000 each, they increase it to 35,000. So if hello? Yeah. So both spouses can take 35,000 and 35,000 each. That's total 70,000 to put toward the down payment, which is a very good gesture from the Liberal government. And this is not applied yet. This will start in September 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Jyoti Maharana, for sharing this knowledge. This is something very new, and a lot of us are not aware about this incentive from Government of Canada and how we can withdraw 35,000 husband and wife for putting in from the RRSP, putting towards down payment. So that gives a nice segue to the next question to Smita Mohanty. What are the advantage and disadvantage of 5% and 20% down payment? And if someone has less than 5% down payment, can the line of credit be used as the remaining down payment to make it 5%? Smita Mohanty. Hello?
Sorry about that. This is getting some time. Okay, so the question is a good question which people are facing a lot nowadays because of the property price increase. Those who are ready for 20% now are not having the 20% for the property they are aiming to. 5% and 20%, the advantage of 5% is sometimes if you are not having 20% to buy for a property but you are eligible for 5%, as per your eligibility, you can get it, but you are going to be charged the CHMC fee, which is the insurer fee, and the monthly payment will be obviously higher. Every month you will pay more than what you should have paid for 20% down payment. The amortization period would be 25 years instead of 30 years. But if you take 20%, you're saving the insurance fee, which is CHMC insurance fee, and your monthly payment will be reduced. You can get up to 30 years amortization, as well as the bank also, the approval is easier because you are paying more down payment. The question next by Ashutosh is about can we use line of credit for the down payment? Can we make line of credit and pay it for down payment? Line of credit is not actually allowed by the bank to be used as a down payment. They will not approve you if you're saying that I'm using the down payment from the line of credit. But there are other ways which we can design and customize, and I have done for my clients. If anyone has that issue, please feel free to ask me. I'm just right beside after the program, I'll be sitting there. You can ask me in person and we can meet and we can discuss about it. It's possible. So I design the things according to my client's need rather than just a stereotype answer of like yes or no, and we can design it, it's possible.
Thank you, Mrs. Smita Mohanty, for explaining the different advantage and disadvantage of 5% versus 20%, and whether the line of credit can be used towards the down payment. Thank you for acknowledging, making us aware about this. Next question is to Mr. Sandeep Rath. The importance of mortgage pre-approval in purchase of a house, because that's the biggest, when somebody is thinking of the house, the first question comes to the mind is about the mortgage. So what is the the benefit or importance of mortgage pre-approval?
In fact, I would say this would be the first step if you're planning to buy a house. This is just like going to a doctor without knowing what you're suffering of. To buy a house, either pre-approval or you go to any mortgage agent, freelance, everything is fine. But you should go, this would be the first step, because you would know exactly what's your purchasing power. Let's say you are eligible for 700 and you are going without this mortgage pre-assessment and you are looking at a house for 800. You're wasting your time, in fact. So I would suggest all the buyers, in fact, should go through a mortgage pre-assessment either through a mortgage agent or through bank as a pre-approval. This would be the first step you should be doing to save your time as well as save the agent's time, and in fact this would be the first step towards buying a house, because you would know exactly what's the purchasing powers of yours. And there are so many factors which are involved in this, like your salary, your credit report, then the location you are buying, what kind of property you are buying. Then like a lot of time a person, let's say they are not eligible for a high mortgage, let's say they are not eligible for buying 700, 800 value of property. But if you have a basement finished with a separate entrance and all, so bank considers all those things into consideration. So don't confine yourself, and you will be in a totally not being focused if you are not going through a mortgage assessment initially. So I would certainly request do a mortgage assessment, and in fact I have a panel of mortgage people who does a lot of mortgage approval through a lot of ways. So if you have any problem in regards to mortgage, I would certainly can help you, and as I would be here, and I have my number in the banner. Whoever wants to reach me, I'll certainly try to help. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep Rath. Coming back to the next question to Mrs. Smita Mohanty, how to prepare for the biggest purchase of life? Of course, purchasing a house is the biggest purchase, and some tips and tricks if you would like to share, and how to choose the right realtor. That's the biggest question everybody has. Like how to choose, what are the things to look for when choosing the right realtor?
Okay, Ashutosh, this is also a really good question. This is something, a house purchase is one of the proud moment of anyone's life, and it's the life saving which someone puts in his purchase. So choosing the realtor definitely is a prime thing which anyone has to do. There are realtors, but choosing the right is the actual thing which you have to do first. According to me, the realtor has to have good knowledge about the location where you're looking at, and should have definitely a good negotiation skill, good communication skill, so that he can communicate to every realtors. Also should understand what exactly you are looking for, because sometimes when you say that I want to buy a property, the realtor starts thinking like, okay, he's very excited, but the realtor should understand where you exactly stand, where you are looking for the property, what is your requirement according to your family size, your job, your tenure in Canada, whether you are in work permit or your PR. So all those stuff, and what is your down payment status, so that all the realtor has to understand first. So for that, I always say to have a one-on-one meeting, which I always do, and there you can always talk, because sometimes we don't like the privacy things to talk in front of everyone. So you can talk to the realtor, and then rather than some realtors just send the listings and just send a questionnaire, they answer the questions and then we can understand, but that's not the real way. So when you're picking a realtor, you should understand that whether he is understanding or she is understanding your need in the first place, and then you can go from there. And the second question which you had is
some tips and tricks, if you can.
So the tips and tricks, basically I would say is the tricks, sometimes we design the purchase. It takes sometimes little months or maybe a few months, because the client, the person who wants to buy is not sure whether he can buy when he's in work permit, which happens in a lot of cases. When you are in work permit, I have designed for my clients, I have given them new constructions which will be finishing in next 3 to 4 years, where they have already become the PR in meanwhile, and they have also created their score, they have saved some money, plus the property they have purchased now has already appreciated a lot in the due course. So rather than waiting for the PR, they can just start doing something when they are in work permit, which I think a lot of them, when they come to Canada, they are in work permit. And the next thing as tips is obviously location. You should know where your kids want to study and where you are going to do your job, and what kind of house you're looking at. Are your parents going to live here? So those all questions have to be discussed in details before deciding a property, rather than going into a competition like, okay, he has a house, I need a house, but we can design it accordingly. So thank you, Ashutosh. I think I have answered the questions, but this is just overall. You can just ask me in person.
Thank you, Mrs. Smita Mohanty. Coming to Mr. Indrajit Ved, now we have decided how to choose a realtor, how to get the mortgage, now we have everything, we have finalized a buy. The biggest question come that time, what are the additional costs involved in the purchase of the house? Like, I have purchased a house, what are the additional costs that are involved, the buyer should be aware about?
Yeah, apart from the purchase price of the property, there are a few additional costs involved in the purchasing of a home in Canada. One of the biggest major additional costs is the land transfer tax. Land transfer tax in Ontario ranges from 0.5% to 2.5% of the purchase price of the property, and is an additional land transfer tax in the city of Toronto metropolitan area, which doubles up the land transfer tax based on the purchase price of the property. But for the first-time home buyers in the province of Ontario, there is a rebate of $4,000 for the provincial land transfer tax and $4,475 Now next, apart from the land transfer tax, there are additional costs which are the legal fee to transfer the title of the property in the name of the buyer, home inspection costs, moving cost. All these three costs depends upon the situation and they are negotiable with the